Iceland is a place that feels like another world. Imagine stepping off a plane and feeling like you've landed on a completely different planet. Not Mars, not Venus, but Iceland. This is a place where volcanoes sleep under glaciers, where the earth breathes through steaming geysers, and where the sun refuses to set in summer yet vanishes for long stretches in winter. Here, you'll find a tiny population bound by centuries-old traditions, coexisting in harmony with some of the most extreme and otherworldly landscapes on Earth. This is the only video that you need to have a solid understanding of Iceland. If you watch all the way to the end of the video, you'll know more than the average tourist. Let's take a deep dive into why Iceland is nothing like the rest of the world. 1. The people. A small, tight-knit society. Iceland's entire population is just over 400,000 people, about the size of a mid-sized city elsewhere, which makes it one of the most sparsely populated countries in the world. Because of this small size, almost everyone is connected in some way. It's not unusual to meet someone and discover you share a distant cousin or a mutual friend. In fact, there is even an Icelandic app that lets people check if they're related before dating. Icelanders tend to be friendly, but a bit reserved at first, opening up quickly once they get to know you. They have a deep pride in their culture and language, and they carry a strong sense of community responsibility, often looking out for one another. It's a place where leaving your car running while you pop into a shop isn't considered reckless. It's normal. Reykjavik is the capital and largest city in Iceland. It is located in southwestern Iceland on the southern shore of the Faxaflói Bay. Reykjavik has a population of around 139,000 as of 2025. The surrounding capital region has a population of around 249,000. That's around 62% of the country's population. 2. Language. The ancient tongue that time forgot. While most Icelanders speak fluent English, their native tongue, Icelandic, is like a living museum piece that has changed very little since the Viking Age. This means Icelanders can still read ancient Norse sagas written over 1,000 years ago without much difficulty. The language is fiercely protective of its roots. Instead of borrowing foreign words, Iceland invents its own, such as tölva for computer, or simi for telephone, which means long thread. This careful preservation is more than a quirk. It's a point of national pride and a deliberate way to maintain cultural identity in a rapidly globalizing world. 3. Nature. It's like walking through a fantasy novel. No matter where you stand in Iceland, you are never far from something breathtaking. This is a country where waterfalls thunder down cliffs in every direction, black sand beaches stretch for miles, moss-covered lava fields ripple across the land like a green ocean, and glaciers slowly creep toward the sea, breaking off into floating icebergs. It's no wonder Iceland is often used as a filming location for epic movies and TV shows like Game of Thrones. But the beauty isn't only in the famous sights. Even short drives reveal small streams cutting through rocky hills, volcanic craters you can climb into, and wild Icelandic horses grazing against a backdrop of snow-capped peaks. The land feels untouched in a way that's rare in the modern world. 4. The power of fire and ice. Iceland's nickname, the Land of Fire and Ice, is not just poetic. The country literally sits on top of the mid-Atlantic ridge, where two tectonic plates are pulling apart, making it one of the most geologically active places on Earth. This has created over 30 active volcanic systems, and earthquakes, eruptions, and steaming hot springs are part of everyday life. The volcanic activity also fuels Iceland's famous geothermal energy. Hot water is piped directly into homes, heating them naturally, and the abundance of this energy makes it cheap and sustainable. In some places, geothermal heat is even used to warm sidewalks in winter so snow and ice melt without the need for shovels. 5. The seasons. Light and dark extremes. In summer, the midnight sun means the sky never truly gets dark. People go hiking, fishing, or even golfing at 2 in the morning, energized by the constant daylight. In winter, the opposite happens, with long, dark days that have only a few hours of sunlight. Rather than seeing this as depressing, Icelanders embrace the coziness, spending time indoors, telling stories, and gathering with friends. Winter also brings one of the most magical sights on Earth, the Northern Lights, swirling across the night sky in colors that feel otherworldly. Foreigners may have difficulty adapting to the seasons and maintaining a good sleep schedule, but for Icelanders, they're used to it. 6. Safety. The world's safest nation. Iceland is the safest country in the entire world according to the Global Peace Index. Crime in Iceland is so rare that police officers don't even carry guns. The most common incidents they deal with often involve helping stranded tourists or rescuing farm animals in tricky situations. There are no dangerous wild animals to worry about, no snakes, poisonous insects, or predators that can harm humans. Even the water from the tap is some of the cleanest and purest in the world. For travelers, this means the freedom to explore without fear, walk anywhere at night, and even hitchhike without anxiety. 7. Culture. Storytelling, music, and art. Iceland's history is built on storytelling, with the Icelandic sagas, epic tales of Viking adventures, serving as treasured pieces of national heritage. These stories are still taught in schools and celebrated during festivals. Today, the love for storytelling is reflected in modern culture. Iceland has more authors per capita than any other country, and music plays an important role, ranging from traditional folk songs to globally recognized artists like Björk and of Monsters and Men. Art is also everywhere, from galleries in Reykjavik to sculptures and installations placed in the middle of nature. Even in the smallest towns, you can find libraries, theaters, and cultural centers. Creativity is not just valued, it's part of the everyday rhythm of life. 8. Life in Reykjavik. A small but vibrant capital. Reykjavik, the capital, feels more like a friendly town than a large city. Its streets are lined with colorful houses, cozy cafes, and murals that brighten the urban landscape. Despite its modest size, the city has a lively atmosphere. Geothermal swimming pools serve as social gathering spots. The nightlife is famously energetic, with locals often heading out after midnight, and there are festivals throughout the year that celebrate everything from literature to food. Reykjavik is also the perfect starting point for exploring the countryside, with geysers, waterfalls, and volcanoes less than an hour's drive away. 9. Food. Simple, fresh, and sometimes unusual. Icelandic food reflects the country's isolation and harsh climate. Icelanders prioritize healthy eating habits. You won't find a single McDonald's in the entire country. Sorry, Americans. Iceland is one of the few developed nations without a McDonald's. It used to have one in Reykjavik, but the location closed down in 2009 due to the financial crisis. Iceland has its own version of McDonald's called Metro. They serve burgers, fries, and much more. The country does have international chains like Domino's Pizza, Subway, and KFC. So if you want a taste of home, go to these places. Traditionally, meals relied on what the land and sea could provide. Fresh fish such as cod, haddock, and salmon are eaten often. Traditional Icelandic food includes tender lamb from sheep that graze freely in the highlands. Skyr, a thick and creamy dairy product similar to yogurt, is a local favorite. For those seeking more adventurous tastes, there are traditional dishes like fermented shark, known as a carl, or boiled sheep's head called svi. While these unusual foods are more cultural curiosities today, they are reminders of a time when survival meant using every resource available. 10. The economy. Powered by nature. Iceland's economy thrives on three main pillars: tourism, fishing, and renewable energy. Tourism brings millions of visitors each year, drawn to the country's natural beauty and adventure opportunities. Fishing remains essential, as the surrounding seas are rich with marine life. Renewable energy, however, is one of Iceland's greatest achievements. Nearly all of the country's electricity comes from hydroelectric and geothermal sources, making it one of the cleanest energy grids in the world. This abundance of inexpensive, green energy has also attracted industries like aluminum smelting, which require enormous amounts of electricity. 11. Sports and outdoor life. Because Icelanders live so close to nature, outdoor activities are part of daily life. Hiking, horseback riding, fishing, and swimming are common pastimes. Soccer is the most popular sport, and Iceland gained worldwide attention when its national team qualified for the 2018 FIFA World Cup, an incredible feat for such a small country. In winter, skiing and snowboarding take center stage, but even then, people still flock to hot springs to soak in warm, mineral-rich waters while surrounded by snow. 12. A strong connection to nature. In Iceland, nature isn't just scenery. It's part of the national identity. Many Icelanders believe in elves and hidden folk, not necessarily in a literal sense, but as a way to show respect for the land. There have even been construction projects rerouted to avoid disturbing areas said to be elf habitats. Environmental care is a shared value, and public spaces are kept remarkably clean. This is not done for the sake of tourism. It is simply how Icelanders live. 13. A country that feels like a family. Because Iceland is small, government decisions are made quickly, and citizens often have direct access to leaders. At one time, the president's phone number was even listed in the public directory, and it wasn't unusual for people to call. This closeness fosters trust, both between people and between citizens and institutions. It's a refreshing contrast to the political divisions seen in many larger nations, and it reinforces the sense of Iceland as one big, extended family. 14. Why Iceland stays unique. Iceland's uniqueness comes from a rare combination of isolation, cultural pride, natural beauty, and community spirit. While other countries may share some of these traits, nowhere else has them all in such abundance. It is a nation where ancient traditions stand alongside modern innovations, where safety and trust are a given, and where nature is treated as both a challenge and a partner. The world could learn from Iceland. Iceland is more than just a travel destination. It is a reminder that a society can thrive without losing its traditions, that nature can be embraced instead of exploited, and that community still matters in the modern age. Visit Iceland, and you may leave with more than just photographs. You might return home with a new perspective on how life can be lived. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. Here's another video on the screen that you may like. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can see more travel and geography content like this.